Hello, everyone. I don't know if you caught that just then. I didn't see you there. My name is Michael. You might remember me from such hits as the We're Too Cold stream and the We're Too Hot stream. Just a short one today, I think. But yes.
Mine.
Mine. Bait. He's such a bro, this guy.
He really is.
Now, we must remember to talk more about the game, Annalise. We're going to be in trouble. We didn't talk enough about the game.
Oh, gosh.
The game, by the way, is a space shooting game in which you have a little ship and you shoot things. You don't shoot all the things. Sometimes you collect things. You use the collect things to find more shoot things. When you've shot those, there's some more difficult to shoot things that come along. I mean, it's really very, very detailed. That's how the game do.
It is indeed how the game do.
So yeah. I'm a sarcastic ass.
Oh, shush.
I want to be a sarcastic ass.
Okay.
I think that might have been my first ever negative comment on YouTube. I occasionally would get things on my other channel.
Yeah.
But that was usually like children. It was usually just children going, I want to buy this from you, why won't you reply, what? It's like, well, no. I'm not selling you my trains, and I'm certainly not buying stuff just so that you can see it reviewed. Like, that's another thing that would happen quite a lot on YouTube. People want you to buy things because they're like, you're an adult, you have money, buy this so that you can review it. And then even if you don't want it, just buy it. Stop not buying it, buy it.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Well, it's like they think that because they think it's like TV where it's TV, but you can tell the TV what to do.
Yeah.
So instead of just, we're not people, we're just do what I want to entertain you. Is the idea.
Which is funny because we're barely even a YouTube channel. We pretty much just do this.
This is literally for us and our couple of friends that we've made via doing this, yeah. And my brother.
It's not like it's a massive channel.
No. We don't even have a Patreon.
No, it's pretty much the
We must be the
little channel.
We must be the only YouTube channel in the world that does not ask for Patreon support. I'm kidding, of course.
Well, I mean, if you're actually doing this professionally, if you're actually putting...
If you're putting real
time
effort,
into it,
yeah.
You absolutely should do a Patreon, because you deserve getting, you should get paid for the time you put into something. But we just do this for fun.
And also the other way around, if people are paying you, then you're going to put more effort in.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense, because you can actually afford to put some time into it if you're making a little bit of money off of it.
This is something we do when we're bored and we just want to like hang out and play some games and chat, because this is not our job. And also, Everspace, very popular game. If you want to find out about Everspace and how it works, and tips and tricks and how to complete the game, YouTube's kind of got you covered.
Yeah.
Ooh, outlaw drones. That is really satisfying, this gun, where you can just...
Keep.
And they're gone. They were there, and then they're not there.
They're there, and then they're not.
Ooh. No. Ow!
Quite the gurning you got going on there.
Yes, I know, it's performative gunning because I'm playing a game for the public. Oh, jeez.
I like those subs on the gurning.
Performative gurning. Well, that's technically what Pierce Brosnan is doing too. He's doing performative gurning. He's an actor.
True.
I am not an actor, but I am doing performative gurning because it's funny on YouTube videos when people make funny noises.
It is. I do enjoy these things.
It seems to be rather random what you acquire from these containers.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that insight, Jarvis.
Ooh, gas. If you pop these, gas comes out. There you go, kids. Anytime you see a pressurized barrel, shoot it. See what happens.
And that is what we call a joke.
No, it's not. That's actual advice. When you see like particularly a red barrel, a red drum of some sort, go and get your dad's shotgun and shoot at it.
Michael. Stop.
Do you think anyone's actually going to follow that advice? It's bad advice.
It is bad advice. I don't trust the general public not to take it.
The 2 people that will ever see this, no. I think I'm fairly safe in assuming that there's not some kid in Arkansas who's going to go, oh, it sounds like a great idea, and blow themselves up. In case you couldn't tell, we're bitter. Because, see title.
Yeah. Unlikely.
Unlikely, but we've been in contact with someone who possibly had it when we saw them.
So we have to wait.
So we've got to isolate and just be careful, go, test, yada yada yada. Point being, we've got to stay inside, so we thought we'd play some games.
We don't legally have to, but we want to do the responsible thing.
We shoot in. Ma, they shootin'.
We shootin'. We indeed shootin'.
Hey Ma, they shootin'.
Hey Ma, they shootin'.
They shootin'.
Is that from a thing, or are you just...
I think that's a thing. It's a thing
It's a
people
thing?
say. Yeah, we're staying indoors.
We're staying indoors
We're staying
until
indoors.
we can get a PCR test.
As we were just saying, we were recently in contact with somebody that
Just
got
tested
pinged,
positive.
then tested, and then tested positive. So we're doing the same.
We're gonna
test
stay
and
indoors
whatnot.
until we can get a proper PCR test.
Yada yada yada, doing the responsible thing. So we're just voluntarily self-isolating.
We can get a test on Wednesday, so we'll be home until then.
But that means I'm going to play games. I'm going to be a bit bitter, which is usually entertaining.
It is entertaining.
Ooh, now I just repped up with. Ooh, no, I thought they offered more than one service. So anyway, yeah, these repair stations are pretty great. Later on in the game, you can actually see these on a map. Yeah, cheers, man. Appreciate it.
We're both vaccinated, so you know, odds are in our favor.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, appreciate it. Right, so these are kind of like your Star Trek style space dock. You fly inside, and you can pay to repair the ship if you've got enough money. It'll also repair any kind of damaged components and stuff you've got. At the moment, I don't have enough. I haven't invested enough money in the power up where you can see those on a map. But eventually you can. And eventually, the more you rep up, they will offer not just repair, but also resources. So, you know, collectible, you know, fuel and also refueling. So, gas and mining stuff. And they'll sometimes buy your components off you. If you have a massive surplus, you can trade. So, it's pretty useful. But that's the sort of stuff you have to have played the game for, I don't know, 10, 12 hours before you're at that point. Why don't more people do SF ships like the book covers of the 60s and 70s? Who was the artist? Oh, you mean like
yeah.
Chris Foss? I used to love those. Actually, they were a big influence on one of my favourite games, which is Homeworld. Kind of space strategy sim game. Kind of like Civ in space, if you like.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Chris Foss did a lot of those, like the Robert A. Heinlein 70s covered and things that had very strange looking kind of fish style ships. And they looked absolutely massive. That's the thing that was really interesting. They were very kind of colourfully painted, but they also looked enormous. Yeah, my dad had a whole bunch of those. He had the whole like E.E. Doc Smith series. He had the Lensman series. You know, all of the Arthur C. Clarke's and the Asimovs, all of that lot. Dude was hired by Hollywood for decades and never used any of his designs for anything. God damn it.
Why not?
Well, I believe he was one of the people involved in the early version of Dune. And I think that's, you know, like H.R. Giger, that's kind of how H.R. Giger got involved with the Hollywood side of things. That's how eventually he became known to Dan O'Banion. So he hired him for Alien. Dan O'Banion. I just love that H.R. Giger couldn't pronounce Dan O'Bannon, so he just keeps calling him Dan O'Banion. He was a ship designer for Dune, that's right. Now, was that before or after? Because that was in the 70s. Was that before or after all of the, you know, those amazing kind of airbrush book covers? Or was it sort of around the same time? He was a weird cat. He seemed to also be genuinely disturbed by his own art, which is kind of wacky.
I mean...
He's like, I have nightmares about it.
Oh,
it's like a worm. I don't like them.
Oh, jeez.
They follow me in the night, or something like that. He's a very strange man. Okay, so around the same time. Ooh. Alright, it's getting a bit hairy. Gonna have to cloak. So this ship has a cloaking device, my Scout. It's one of the reasons I like it, so you can scream away. And it's also the fastest of the ships in this game, so... Oh, he was into opium. Well, that explains a lot. Probably having insane opium visions, and that's where, like, penis-headed monsters came from. Bless you. Not COVID sneeze. I don't think COVID makes you sneeze anyway. I don't think that's part of the... Ooh!
Early. There's some talk that you can have sneezing at the very... But I've been sneezing for weeks. Thank you, David.
He was discovered by Salvador Dali. Yes, that's right, because Salvador Dali was meant to... Now, I haven't watched this Jodorowsky's Dune documentary. I think it would be fascinating. I do kind of want to watch it at some point, just because Jodorowsky is, you know, he seemed to not have any intention of making a faithful adaptation of Dune. He just kind of wanted to make a wild sci-fi extravaganza that was going to be like 9 hours long with insane sets and insane designs, and it probably would have been amazing. A complete mess. But that's what a lot of visionary art is. It's kind of completely insane, doesn't make much sense, but ends up being kind of influential. I think it would have been very influential if it had been made. You know.
I would have liked to see it.
Some of the stuff, I mean, some of the designs they had with spaceships coming out of gigantic statue heads, so that it would be a tongue or something. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy.
No time.
I like the Jodorowsky Dune doc, but when you watch it, you're along for the ride. Once you take yourself out, you realise it was... I'm guessing that's...
sorry.
You realise it's probably going to be a mess, yeah. Or something of that nature.
I'm on it.
I think I'm going to remove these.
Oh, keep blanket, don't turn off. You realize he was going full Charlie Manson cult leader.
Oh, jeez. Can't install consumable. He kidnapped Dan O'Bannon. What?
Last I checked, that was illegal.
Yowzers.
Was that not always true?
I mean... That sounds pretty unsavory. Right, so when you get to the end of each area, you get one of these big Mass Effect style jump gates, or Babylon 5 style jump gates, which sends you into the next area. I think there's a bonus actually for getting to. So there's 7 sectors in all. It's very. They get progressively harder and harder. It's very, very hard to get to the later ones. So you get I think a cash bonus for getting further. The further you get. Oh, whoops.
What happened?
Mission failed. Protect the target. I didn't even know what the target was. Was there someone under attack? I just saw an explosion and it said mission failed. It's like, what did I do?
Dan O'Banion
Banyan.
mentioned that Jodorowsky gave him special marijuana and they smoked it, and O'Banion had a trip. And Jodorowsky went, "I want you to work on this." O'Banion was drugged, man. Which is straight up some...
So, yeah, I mean, that's sort of proper acid trip kind of thing.
Yeah.
Why not?
Definitely some cult stuff going on there. Well, at least it's supposed to rain for the next 5 days in a row, so it's not like we're missing anything.
Oh, cross. I was like, whoa! Jeez. These things, I don't know what these things are. They're scandros. They just seem to be spraying you with some sort of... Ooh.
That's just what I need.
Oh, that's a lot of bad boys. Oh, I've aggroed G and B. They're angry with me.
I would usually recommend against that.
Okay, you get in trouble if you aggro G and B. Grady and Brunt Enterprises. You're not supposed to do that.
He refused to work with
Doug Trumbull.
Because Doug Trumbull was a spiritual warrior, which probably means didn't take Judo's drugs.
Jodo.
Said Judo's.
On the other hand, I do think that generally in media, wacky, crazy, hallucinatory, visionary stuff tends to get a bit othered.
Yeah.
In one way or another, because there's so many great pieces of famous art that are... Jesus Christ. I think I'm going to die.
Have it go.
Ooh. Somehow I got out of there without dying.
Well done.
You know, as you look at famous pieces of art from the past, quite a lot of them were opium visions and insane dreams and things that were turned into, you know, very famous pieces of art history. But whenever there's a... Jodorowsky is probably just the same as them in terms of he's just a very eccentric, imaginative person. We do actually need such people as nuts as they are.
Oh, the most entertaining people in the world are the most eccentric, you know that. As long as they're not doing anything that... Well, I suppose it's a bit different when they're doing things that are bad for their health.
Oh, artists are always doing things that are bad for their health.
Yeah,
Oh
I
dear.
suppose.
Well, that ends that run. 18 minutes, there we go. 19 minutes. Whoopsie. Didn't make it very far there.
Yeah.
Fascinating background for the movie, like Dune, is super influential even though... Oh yeah, Dune is crazy influential. I've told you about this. You're already seeing it, because we're actually reading Dune at the moment.
Yes.
We're about 200 pages in, or so.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that he depicts the passage of time over the course of centuries is really cool.
Yeah. This is why I play Animal Crossing. Nothing explodes.
Where's the lightning ship? I like the lightning ship.
Although I do miss earlier iterations of the games when some of the characters were just utter assholes. What was the one that I saved from the other day?
Mm.
You read Stephen Allen's column while I try and find that.
He shifts the language as he talks. He starts in English. Oh, this is Hodorowski. Chilean, Spanish, then French, then back to Spanish, then back to English. Oh, so he's a code switcher. He does all of that. Okay.
Shoot lightning with bees.
Ooh. I think I'll go for this color. Quite like that.
Yeah, this is from an old game. One of the characters that's known for being grumpy.
Mm.
It used to, it's still when you go to some of your little animal villagers, you can talk to them and they say things, but all the dialogue lines now are very samey. They're very cutesy and generic.
Right.
There's nothing terribly interesting. But they used to have very distinct personalities as far as, like, this is the grumpy type, this is
Right.
the happy type.
Right.
There's one who's the grumpy type, and you could go up and you would say, I'm watching the anime they made from this manga to see what they cut out or got wrong. Isn't it great that no matter the culture, I can find something I hate about something I claim to like? They used to be so much more interesting. Oh, I'm always playing Animal Crossing, Steven.
Annalise loves it, Animal Crossing and Pokemon.
I do. Nintendo owns my soul.
Nintendo.
I mean, as far as companies to own your soul, it's not the worst.
So I have, is this a Sentinel? What kind of ship is this? Anyway, this has the ability to shoot lightning. So this is essentially the Emperor Palpatine ship. Do it. But the nice thing is if you have multiple enemies, the lightning actually arcs from one to the next. So if they're all close enough together, you can be shooting multiple enemies at once.
That's so nice.
Which is pretty great. They all come with specific weapons, which is quite good, because otherwise they'd all be a bit the same. It kind of makes you play the game a bit differently. Like this one, you actually want to get in close to your enemies as quickly as possible, whereas the scout one, you're trying to pick them off one by one and trying to get them not to see you, stuff like that.
Yeah, I also like Isabelle, but I especially like her in Mario Kart, where she's vicious.
That's because you play her vicious.
Yeah. Wait, Nintendo has been around for over 100 years? What?
Oh, do you mean as in they've been making board games and stuff?
I wasn't even aware as a company they were that old.
Look them up. I'm curious now.
Let's find out. Nintendo is older than Turkey. Nintendo. What?
Next we'll find out PlayStation was actually invented by the ancient Greeks.
They were founded in 1889.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm guessing board games and...
Oh no, they were developing the Switch. Originally produced handmade Hanafuda playing cards? What?
There we go. Playing cards.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Cool. That's really cool. Yeah, no, they own my soul.
Because most, things like PlayStation and so on, they're kind of pop-ups, aren't they?
I mean, they're a full-fledged company now.
Yeah. But when they were startups in the 90s, was it a Sony PlayStation or were they part of Sony?
Yes, I believe so. As I said, I've always been a Nintendo handheld kind of person. PlayStation, yeah, they're under Sony.
Ah, okay. They're under Sony.
They're under Sony.
Here you go, see?
Ooh, very nice.
And also, I can EMP them.
Yeah,
I
Turkey
can
only...
stun them and then take them down.
Nice.
Turkey only existed since 1919. Okay.
That's amazing. I did done get learned today.
You done got learned.
I done got learned. Sony PlayStation, yes. Originally with what meant to be Sony Nintendo with a partnership, and it made a tangled mess in the 90s. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, let's see. hence why the Philips CDI is a thing. Interesting. Yeah, I've always been a handheld person. I did get the PSP when they made it, and I actually thought it was a really great system. I was kind of surprised at how quickly it died.
Hmm.
You know, the PSP came out and it just kind of tanked really fast, or at least that's what it seemed like to me. But it had at the time it had a far superior screen to any of the Nintendo systems.
Do you remember they had that, you could buy like Spider-Man 2 in a terrible kind of small disc version?
Yeah.
PSP DVD or whatever?
Yep.
I think for a while you could get like Season 3 of Lost in that format.
Probably. I used
in
to have
tiny screen headache-o-vision.
I used to have little cartridges for my Game Boy Advance.
Oh, yeah?
2 episodes of the show on them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I remember being really amazed when I got my PSP by how extensive some of the games were for it, much more so than most Nintendo games, so it was a shame that kind of never took off, or at least, again, from my perception. I was not paying attention to these things at the time, but my perception was that it did not stick around terribly well. Like, you ever want to have one of the most fascinating reads about a company backstabbing, like Game of Thrones crap, video games companies in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. That said, I do still have my GameCube, and at some point I'm gonna bring it back here, because I kind of want to dig up some old GameCube games and play them again, including my old Animal Crossing game in Cubo-Vision, when they didn't know how to make things look round.
But just modeling curves was just really complicated.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get a copy of Pokemon Coliseum. Yeah, I thought I really loved my GameCube, but I don't know if that was just because that was the kind of, they catered more to the kind of game I was interested in playing.
Not your therapist.
It was the only one I could never bring myself to sell. I sold my PS2, I sold my Wii. Never bring myself to sell my GameCube. That said, I got, what, $20 a piece for my PS2 and my Wii. Those things deteriorate in value so quickly. As soon as they're not a regularly playable game station, you can still get plenty of money for a used Switch, or even trying to get a used 3DS. They're still not that cheap. But Wii and PS2...
My brother had a DS. They were quite fun.
Yeah, I liked my DS. Let's see, because GameCube was a console that they really... Sorry, comment loading. Really didn't supply proper in the latter half, and then DS came to save the day with Nintendogs.
Right.
I had Nintendogs. Oh, I mean, everyone had Nintendogs. That was the thing. I mean, it seemed like PlayStation quickly dabbled into portable systems and then abandoned it, and Nintendo quickly dabbled into console systems and then quickly abandoned it. Well, I mean, they did move to... That's maybe not fair on the Nintendo side, because they did move into the Wii, which was a fine system, and then they finally got to the Nintendo the Switch, which is a bit of both. It's weird because kids are asking for the game consoles we had as kids, thanks to gaming culture these days. Kids see people playing Mario Sunshine, and they want a GameCube. I mean, I'm glad I didn't get rid of my GameCube. I don't find that the games on the Wii have any replay value, really. Any of the motion-based games, you can do things like that on the Switch.
Right.
The Mario Kart is really clunky, I find, on Wii, and the new one is just better. I'm not saying that the new one is the best Mario Kart ever, but I do think it's certainly better than the one for the Switch. I am all over the place today for the Wii. And maybe
Nope.
I could have kept my PS2, but I just didn't see myself digging out any of those games again. I think Nintendo screwed themselves over on the marketing of the Wii. The tagline writes itself, "We will rock you." Oh god.
Nice.
That pained me. That pained me.
Whoa!
Yeah, I think the thing with the Wii was they seemed to buy only completely into the whole motion control thing. There weren't too many great games that came out for the Wii, I didn't think. Because every game that came out for it had to be based on the motion control thing, and that gimmick wore out pretty fast. I mean,
there's not too many ways you can fit that into a game unless it's deliberately designed around it.
Yeah, I mean, Wii Sports was fun. But, you know, the Switch has motion capability that surpasses the Wii, and people don't really even talk about it. No one actually cares that the Wii controllers can, or the Switch controllers can have motion capabilities. Plus, we don't have to have the massive motion bar.
Outside of that,
Oh, the Switch is so much cooler.
it is. It's very handy.
The gimmick of the Wii wore off pretty fast,
And enough people had pierced their massive
TVs,
plasma
yeah.
screens.
Yeah, you're right. It does just sound cooler than Wii.
Well, I liked the character switch from The Matrix. So
There we go.
the one with white hair looks like Annie Lennox.
I do think that my Switch is my favorite gaming system I've ever had. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of nostalgic love for my Game Boy Advance and some of the games for the DS, but if I completely remove nostalgia, and even if I completely remove graphics, I still think the Switch is my favorite system. For how well it switches from handhelds to TV to multiplayer. I much prefer it. But that's really entirely based on Nintendo gaming systems. I've never been a huge PlayStation person. And certainly not an Xbox person. I think I gather Xbox is mostly if you're into sporting games.
Xbox?
Yeah. I could, again, could be completely wrong on that, but no one I know really uses an Xbox very often.
Yeah, I don't think my brother even has a current Xbox. Is it Xbox One now?
No, Lord, I don't know.
Electrocute each other, please.
I don't actually know who plays
This could be a
Xbox.
sticky situation here.
Obviously
Oh,
people do, but... I think it's I've always preferred single-player games, which I think Nintendo really leans into heavily.
Mm.
Yeah, the Xbox 360.
Oh, the 360.
I don't even know what games they put out for Xbox anymore.
I mean, it's probably the big ones that are available for the other main consoles.
I'm curious. I'm searching what the best Xbox games are. First, I'm gonna figure out what.
Probably going to be FIFA or something.
First, I'm gonna figure out what the current Xbox is called. Yeah, I think
The
it's
Xbox
FIFA.
One?
Is it the Xbox One? Yeah, it's the Xbox One. I'm really showing my knowledge here. Xbox One. Hey, I can talk your ear off about Animal Crossing and Pokemon.
The Red Ring! Yeah, the
Ah,
Red Ring of
Halo.
Death.
Nice and simple.
Oh, right. That type of gamer. Ugh.
Don't be mean.
I played a bit of Halo. I played a bit of Halo on PC that was
Doom Eternal.
okay.
Sea of Thieves. I have heard good things about Sea of Thieves. You can also play Red Dead on, but I'm discounting ones that I hear about talked about for the PlayStation systems frequently.
Yeah. Football games, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I gathered. It's mostly Halo and football games, so not terribly to my face. Where you play the same freaking game that you buy year after year.
The only thing that's different is that it's got updated teams and characters for every team.
quite a few PlayStation games I like though. Or at least games that you can get on the PlayStation. Love Subnautica.
Subnautica is one of the most impressive
I love
of recent years.
I love Last Guardian. You could mod it to have updated teams.
Yeah, but they could also make you pay £60 every year to do
Yeah,
that.
that sounds far more fun.
Oh Jesus!
Oh my Jesus.
Yowzers!
Yeah, just my cabbage.
Something like that.
Hey, it's me again. Need
Oh,
some
who's this
supplies?
lady?
Sure, but I can't help feeling I'll have to pay at some point.
No strings attached. Just take what you like. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
I don't buy it.
She just drops random. She doesn't say who she is. She just drops random. She's helping us, but we don't know who she is
Or why she's helping.
or why she's helping, which makes me think that there's either ulterior motives or she knows who we are. And she can't, for some reason, can't tell us what's going on because it might alter things or something. The nice thing is, anytime you come across one of these kind of strange creatures like this kind of big bacteria that lives in the ice, you get a little bit of money for it if you find it, if you scan it.
Reminds me of minions I have. Oh, it's nice to see you again, and just sit there and hope she says her name so I can save face.
Oh god, everybody has that.
Oh god, isn't it true though?
Oh hi, you. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I think I've made an art form of avoiding using people's names.
Ooh. Okay, here we go. This is a feature I've just unlocked. So, that's my previous... Where I just blew up last time,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
me.
Look at your corpse.
Now, I can't do anything with it yet, but eventually... See, I can shoot my stupid... Yes, dead buddy. Idiot, you dead idiot.
That's you!
But no, it's a clone. It's not me. It's not the
No.
same at all. Just had, I just have his memories.
Somehow this is masochism. I haven't figured out how, but
Um,
somehow it's masochism.
But yeah, eventually it drops all of your previous stuff next to it, so you can you can loot your own corpse, which is great. It's a little bit dark, but it's very handy if you had a lot of material saved up, and a lot of really good weapons and things. You can come along and pick it up, so at least then you're at the same stage. You don't have to get all that again. That's quite fun. This place is a mess. Just all this trash everywhere, space metal, space trash.
Demilitarized zone. Which I have to send you that article about the art museum.
Oh yeah. That
There's
does sound
apparently an
interesting.
art museum that has been opened in the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea.
Yes.
Which wouldn't think that would be your first choice of location, but To each
Well,
their own.
I know the economy's bad, but at least I managed to get myself a job. It's in the demilitarized zone in North Korea. I'm just glad to have some work. Oh.
I mean, I know I'd prefer it if I was me looting my own corpse. At least I can trust myself enough not to sell it for drugs and weapons. Which is hilarious because you're currently selling them off for weapons.
That is kind of how, how that works. How that stupid little colonial sentry drone's trapped in there. No. Run. Run away.
Run fast.
Ugh. May I have the heat blanket?
You may.
Is that heater on?
Yes.
Okay. It's just really cold.
Really inefficient. Kind of feel like I'm moving in one of the other heaters in here. I think they're much better than that one. It's it's demilitarized zone. That means it's D number on number one place for location. You got a lot of troops troops who are
That's a stretch, but
bored.
okay.
Sorry, I gotta pull this up on the phone because the way it cuts the words in half is just breaking my brain. That means it's D1. You got a lot of troops who are bored and can absolutely work it. There we go. I mean, actually, I think the...
Well, I mean, maybe the troops want to go see some art.
I mean, the art museum was opened in an old troop... an old
an old barracks?
Yeah, I don't think it was a barracks. It was like an office building used by the troops. Logistics office building. You can't actually go see it. You have to apply for tickets through an organization that's attempting to facilitate conversations between South and North Korea.
Okay.
You can apply for free tickets through them. And then once you get them, you take a very specific designated bus.
I see.
From South Korea to the museum.
Oh my gosh, okay.
And they only allow 5 tour groups of 30 people a day. I'm kind of surprised they get that many, to be honest. I saw one of the things that amazed me is they said...
What kind of things do they have on display there? Is it just a gallery, or is it...
It's mostly South Korean artists.
Okay.
Or artists of South Korean descent. Apparently, in one place they have an empty frame that's meant to be for when they can display a North Korean artist.
Okay. Very nice.
The thing that disturbed me most about the article talking about it was you're not allowed to bring children under the age of 8. But that means you are allowed to bring...
You can bring a 9-year-old?
Yeah, you can bring a 9-year-old.
To the demilitarized zone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I have sincere questions about.
Alright then. Oh, those are cool. Just stabilizer missiles. You fire them and it just kind of slowly dissolves your enemy.
Ooh, that's fun.
Your enemy's ship, so it just, you know, corrodes the hull or whatever.
That sounds fun.
At an atomic level. So it just turns to vapor.
Lovely.
I thought so.
Have hiccups.
Pack those up for now. Where to next?
Animal Crossing. The calmest game ever.
It is very
Until
it is
you
very
run
nice.
into a scorpion and have to run for your life.
I love that it's fine until scorpions happen.
Yeah. Hi, John.
Maybe it's having barbecue. Ah, interesting. Again,
Yeah.
this time of year, maybe, yeah.
It's odd choices.
Well, that's all right. We're just having a short one.
Sorry about the crackle being... Oh, Michael, you crackled that right near the microphone.
Oh, sorry. Oopsies.
Apologies.
All right.
Yes, just a bit of a short stream, so... But, as you can probably guess from the title, we might be stuck
We are going to be
inside.
back for... Yeah, we're going to be back again probably tomorrow.
We're going to be stuck inside for the next 3 days until we test on Wednesday, so... We're going to be here. Also on a wooden dock. That's just... Bundle up, John. I hope you're recovering from your root canal, by the way.
Yes, I hope that's okay.
Yeah,
Oh god, go away.
That doesn't sound like the best of ideas, but
Nope.
sure. Winter barbecue on a wooden dock.
Oh, there are too many of these.
Obviously not quite as cold farther down south than I'm sure it is up there, but still quite cold.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Gotta run away.
good to hear. Yeah, so it's not that we're ill or that we feel ill. Someone that we saw that we spent time with on Friday just tested positive. So we're feeling fine right now. In fact, actually, the friend who tested positive is feeling fine too. But we're gonna isolate for the next 3 days until we can test on Wednesday, just to be safe. We're both vaccinated, so fingers crossed. I'm just hoping it doesn't mess with Christmas plans.
Yes, yes.
I will be a grumpy elf. Ah, it's a obligatory welcome the new boat neighbor.
Ah, right.
I'm not gonna lie, if I was the new boat neighbor, I wouldn't mind if you waited until the spring. Grumpy Annalise is not something I want in the world.
Trust me, you don't.
Hey! Shut up!
I'm kidding.
Are you?
Mostly.
Well, we will be...
I get grumpier than her, to be honest.
Well, we will be here streaming, if that happens, so you will know. Fine, you guys have a nice safe distance. He's stuck with me.
Right. But grumpy you get, I don't know, you react differently. I just get quiet.
Don't call me cute. Don't.
I'm not saying you're cute. No. That's not what I meant. That's not what I was going to say. You get different. You mostly get irritated at bad service in restaurants or incompetent Amazon delivery drivers or things like that.
Well, look, if I paid to have a job done, I want it done right.
Yeah. But whereas I'm mostly generally grumpy and generally bitter towards people.
Oh, that's not true. COVID just
and just very quiet.
COVID, and it's just like everyone else. COVID has heightened our misanthropy just a little bit.
Right. And now. There you go. You got to sting them with that. Ooh, come on, die. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. Stop shooting me. Stop shooting me. Oh, did he explode? I guess he did. Maybe he hit something. I don't remember shooting him.
Well, someone shot him.
Must have been me then. Binaural gel packs. Very nice.
Very nice.
I do love that I can just lightning things.
Well, yes, you see, guys, we've gotten our first negative comments. Apparently, we don't talk about the game enough.
We don't talk about the game enough. Yeah,
So
we're just shooting the breeze instead of talking about the damn game. I mean, my God.
We're gonna have to talk about the game more.
Yeah.
Sense the heavy sarcasm.
So this is a space shooty game where you're in space and you shooty.
Oh boy.
Sometimes you can mine asteroids with missiles.
Ooh.
Like that.
A YouTube channel that I like put out, Grumpy John Smith says things such as, I'm fine, when I'm completely not.
That's very, yes.
Does I'm fine ever actually mean I'm fine? Ever? If I say I'm fine, it's usually in the tone of the dog in the room on fire.
Oh, right.
It's
It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine.
Everything's fine. I like the follow-up meme that someone made where it's just the dog freaking out. I was like, this isn't fine! What the hell is wrong with you? Nothing is fine! It's funny. Yes, I just saw those. I have a very strange pet interest in amusement parks. I don't know why, but I do. And I watch a lot of amusement park-based.
There's a surprising amount of that.
There is. Oh, it's a whole subculture of YouTube. It's quite fun. And one of them just put up a video about the most dangerous amusement park rides that ever existed.
Oh, good.
Which includes...
As in ones that behead people.
Possibly.
Oh, God.
But includes one that I'm quite...
Moving around! I can't shoot you. Sorry, go on.
Did you let me away?
Just a second until I've shot this thing. Go on. I can't get it! It's very hard!
I'm just gonna wait until it's dead.
Can't fucking... Stop moving!
Oh crap.
Yeah, this is why this is a problem! Mother... I hate these little things. Because they get right up close to you and you have to keep turning around to hit them. Oh god, I'm gonna get... I think I'm gonna die. Because of that little bitch drone.
Yeah. Yeah, Defunctland is one of them! I love Defunctland! It's not the one I'm talking about right now, but I am also subscribed to Defunctland. But another one, I'm so glad you know that YouTube channel, John. It's so fun. So you understand the obsession with amusement parks, especially old, outdated ones.
Lewis.
Oh, you got a call. Here, I will say...
You know what? If you don't mind.
Yes. Shall I wrap things up with the guys?
Yeah.
All right.
My friend just called. So.
You run off. All right. Michael has just gotten a call. Are you okay? Michael has just gotten a call from a friend who he hasn't heard from in a while, so he's gonna go off and take that call. I'm kind of tempted to try. Do I know how to do this? I don't actually think I know how to play this game. Let's just do it anyway. Will he get annoyed if I buy some? If I buy some upgrades? I don't know what any of these upgrades do. This might be a terrible idea. I should probably just stop the stream here. Nah, it's fine. Unspent credits. Oh, well, fine. I don't know what to spend them on. Alright, well, I probably shouldn't spend his credits. Or not spend his credits, because they get deleted after the run. So, yes, I love Defunctland. I was, do it. Alright, screw it. Normal. Launch. This is gonna end horribly. I love Defunctland. I was nostalgically watching rides I loved at camp. Captain EO was a complicated one. I don't think I know that one. I am very glad that you also... Okay, let's figure out how this works. Okay. We're just gonna do this for a very short amount of time until I inevitably die, and then I'm gonna call the stream. Ooh, I did kill something, though. No. Where'd it go? There are I would like it noted that there are actually games that I am good at. It just none of them happen to overlap with the games that Michael is good at. Now, where... Jeez. I'm sorry, this is going to be of no entertainment value because I'm just going to be trying not to die. No, I really enjoyed Defunctland, and another one that I watch, Fast Pass, it's called. They don't specifically just do defunct amusement parks, which is specifically fun, but they do occasionally put out that kind of video. Just put out one about the most dangerous amusement park rides, and there was one that was this water slide. Very typical tube water slide, so you get in on a tube on your back, you're not riding anything, you just slide down. But someone decided it would be a great idea to add a 360 loop at the end. So you are freestyle falling and then you go into a 360 loop, which was always closed because either someone had gotten stuck because they hadn't gotten enough momentum to get through the loop, or because they hadn't got enough momentum and so they fell and hit their head on the bottom of the loop. So, immensely entertaining. Yes, that one. Captain EO was a 3D movie, the first I ever saw, featuring Michael Jackson. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know why I have such a pet interest in watching things about amusement parks. Just fun. I do enjoy going to amusement parks. I don't get to go very often, but when I do, they're fun. We did get to go to Disneyland Hong Kong while we were living over in Asia. It's so funny because it is a Disneyland, but it's kind of what they call their subgenre of budget Disneylands, which basically means that the rides are all still of Disney quality, but the theming in between them is kind of lacking or non-existent, as opposed to what you'd expect at like Disney World. Some of the rides though are really amazing. One of the their version of they don't have the haunted mansion, they have the mystical mansion because there's certain stigmas in China around ghosts and other similar superstitions. Really, really amazing ride. But there's a documentary somewhere on YouTube about how that whole park almost failed, and it's fascinating. I liked Tales from Weirdland. They talk about some obscure stuff like Black Cauldron rides in the 80s. Oh, cool. Wait, are you talking about the Black Cauldron walk-through attraction that used to be, I think this, which one was this? This was in one of the Asian parks. It might have been Hong Kong, but it also might have been Shanghai. I can't recall. The reason I remember it's in one of the Asian rides is because, or in one of the Asian parks is because the attraction was not in English, but also it had to be closed because it was done in the basement of Cinderella Castle. And when they upgraded the country's earthquake safety precautions, they had to close it down because it would have just been too costly to bring the basement up to standards. I'm reasonably certain this one would be in Tokyo because that would track with upgraded earthquake standards. Absolutely fascinating though. So you went into the basement of the Cinderella Castle, and you were guided by a tour guide. So it was just someone that worked at the park who was, playing a role. They were an actor. I'm really sucky at this game. And they would walk you through the basements, and each room was themed after one of the Disney villains. But you would get to the final... Yes, I know, my shield is fading. I'm about to die. Primary weapon damage. Oh, gosh. You'd get to the final room. It was this big open cavern meant to look like hell. And the main villain from Black Cauldron, who's basically the devil, would be there. And he would go and say he was collecting the souls of all the tour guides to sacrifice to the devil. And this was in a Disney park. If you can find a walkthrough of it, it's absolutely fascinating. Thank you, Steven. Oh, we don't care. We really don't. It's just funny. Especially since we're really not trying to be YouTubers. Not at all. We're just here because this is a fun thing to do, and we like talking to you guys. And seriously, if my ability to play this game has any indication on how little similarities we have with most gaming YouTube channels. So I cannot play this for my life. I wish that it wasn't so difficult to stream from the Switch. Because we don't have a capture card. I don't know if we'll be investing in one. It would be fun. I would love to be able to stream Pokemon and things like that. Something just a little bit more up my alley. Oh, okay, I guess I can do that. Can I? No. I can do that. I'm just checking all the buttons now. I don't actually know how I get to the main menu. Oh, nope. God, I'm so sorry. This is a disaster. Usually I leave these things to Michael. Alright, I'm gonna play until I die, and then I'm going to call it. If I can even figure out how to do that. Seems like I'm taking my sweet time dying. And the mascot of Valverde, Annalise. Don't say the song. And Michael, let me tell you about Star Trek. And John, Dangerboat Smith. Love it. Love it. Yes, I have said many times about my secret mission to become the unofficial mascot of Valverde. What? How am I supposed to keep up with this? Nope. Oh, for Christ's sake. Alright, guys. This has been fun, but I might call it soon. Because I'm just abysmal at this. Like, impressively abysmal. It would be so bad if I had Michael here explaining what the controls are to me, but I don't actually know what the controls are. Okay, that does that. That's interesting. That does that. Okay, alright. Oh, but I can do that. It was very kind of them to do a John Wick watch party. I really appreciated it. That was super fun. I still think that the end of the private not end, but temporary hiatus on private watch parties is my fault, because the next one was going to be the Roar stream, and we all know that can't actually happen. It's cursed. It's like we said with that podcast we listened to, well, there's your problem. At the end of every episode they say, next episode we're going to talk about the Tacoma Bridge disaster, which they never do. They never actually talk about the Tacoma Bridge disaster. So that's the joke. I think that's what happened with Roar, so when we finally decided we're gonna do Roar, it had to end. That's odd. It's a very weird tappy on our wall. What are the neighbors doing? Oh, I think he's a friend. Oh, probably shouldn't shoot him if he's a friend. Tippy Hentron first lines. I mean, that's the film.
Ah, Mr. Roslin.
Hello.
I've been waiting for you to return.
Yes. Care to say any more? I don't think I need anything from you. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna call it here because I have no idea what I'm doing. I can't actually figure out how to get to the menu where I repair the ship. Oh, nope, not supposed to do that. Alright, this has been fun. Best of luck, John, with your freezing cold barbecue. As we said, we're gonna be we're not required to self-isolate because we are both vaccinated, but just to be on the safe side and try and be responsible, we're gonna stay inside for the next 3 days. Looks like it's gonna rain nonstop anyway, so you'll definitely see us tomorrow, and possibly the day after that, and possibly the day after that, until we're free. But anyways, this was fun. Night to night, guys.